back for another live stream. Nigga just got off work, nigga bored. Make sure y'all niggas fuck with me. Make sure y'all share the Twitch. If you don't know who I am, I'm King Emery. Fuck with me. If you do know who I am, welcome back. We in this hoe, man. We gonna start off by watching this press conference by the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all already know how we rockin'. But yeah, man. Let's start this hoe. Skip this fucking music. This shit weak as hell. This ain't no King Emery.
Oh no, yeah, there's definitely a bunch of first rounders right here now. There's no doubt. Yeah, I don't know who to pick.
We wouldn't match the medical.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And your first 3 or 4 questions are going to be about that. Sorry at all. Just your impressions of how he's moving around, and what do you look for with a player coming off an injury like that at quarterback when he goes back-to-back days like that?
Well, I think like any player that has a lower extremity injury, particularly to the joint area, you focus on that, and really we're really past that. I think it's real credit to Dak and Britt and all the work that's gone into it. So he's been moving with a lot of confidence for some time now. So really we're just focusing on the footwork and getting back through each concept, particularly the QB movements and in the fake game, just because those are the things those are things all the quarterbacks we need a lot of work, just as a whole offense, quarterback footwork driven focus. So this is the perfect schedule for him to be on. So he's really capable of doing everything that we've done the last 2 days. We're just being cautious, keeping him out of the team periods, and that's something that we'll evaluate at the end of the week. But I foresee us doing that here, all 3 weeks, and putting him into team periods once we get into training camp. And it's more precaution on the medical staff and myself, just being smart there. But he looks great. He's put a ton of work into this. So I would say he's ahead of schedule.
You say you're always, with any quarterback, you're always looking at the footwork because that's the base for how everything else flows. But when you come off an injury like that, do you break it down even more to make sure that he's not compensating in other areas, or too much upper torso, or things you can look for specifically?
I mean, definitely, but I think that process is pretty much eliminated during the rehab program. I know those are things that, really, if you would have been out on the field the past couple months, you would have seen his work and his rehab was very detailed and very similar to the same footwork drills that we would do in quarterback school. So he's been really at this for quite some time now.
What have you thought from what he's done here the first 2 days? Has he looked like the guy that picked up from week 4 of last season, or do you see a guy that's working back in?
Oh, I would say he's working back in, and I don't think that's any different than any OTA week 1 practice that I've been a part of. Really, I don't even look at last year as comparable. So I mean, just trying to really reflect back to 2018 and before. I thought as a whole our team did some really good things in the first OTA. We're doing more perimeter focus, which I've always done, really, frankly, since 2011. So it's more about where we are as a team. The way we do it is we put everything in the offense, defense, and special teams, and we call them 8 installations. And yesterday and today we were able to get through install 1 and 2, and there were mistakes out there, and we had some guys collide and get on the ground. I'm more focused on the safety part of it, so we can continue to work in this OTA climate and be smart and be safe.
according to the CBA, each team is allowed 10 practices during OTAs. Can you detail how your schedule is a little bit different this year to what you are allotted under that CBA?
Definitely. I always look at the amount of work that I feel that we need to get done at this time of year because the commitment that our football team has made up until this point has been tremendous. So I feel like the virtual classroom work, we've really hit the target there, and you could see that especially in our rookie class, just their interaction. As they joined in with the veterans last week, I think they've transitioned fairly well. Now they're going to hit a wall here next week, which is normal because once they start getting into the concepts and schemes that they haven't seen yet or been a part of, particularly the communication aspect is always the biggest challenge. So we'll hit that next week, but we're gonna get all 8 installs in. So we'll have 8 OTA practices, and then I'll release the veterans on June 11th or June 10th, whatever that Thursday is, and then we'll stay with the rookies one more week, the following week, with just the rookie class.
Mike, at what point did you know you'd have this level of attendance during your OTA practices? How helpful is it? And also, can you tell us anything about the absence?
Well, yes, I can't say enough about the participation that we've had here. I mean, really, really starting after not only a couple weeks after the season concluded. So we've had a steady flow of players working out here. I mean, we're so fortunate to have this great facility and the resources in place, and our players live here in town. So it's a great asset to have, especially as a coach that's in the front end, in a new transition, putting it in a program, and because we've had a lot of change even from last year. So the commitment's been tremendous, and you can see it even phase 1 and phase 2. So it's really put us in a really good place to accomplish getting all 8 installations here over these 3 weeks. As far as Zeke, and Zeke was in the building today, so he didn't do the work on the field, but he's been here the whole time.
Amari had his foot surgery, and obviously we didn't see him out there. Is he someone the next time we'll see him? Will that be the start of training camp, or do you think he might be able to work in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, Amari was there today. He was on the field. He wasn't working, so we're being smart with him too. So Zach Martin, same deal. These guys have all been here pretty much every day, but some of the field work was limited, and we're just being smart with the guys, particularly the ones coming off of surgery and have some things that are hanging on from last year.
Did Elliott have some rehab today?
Excuse me?
Did Elliott have some rehab today? Is that why he wasn't on the field?
Yeah, he was in the building today. So, so he's been here every day.
Mike, what's the key at this stage in integrating your rookies in with your vets for the smooth process?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
For sure.
You're kind of going in and out.
Get you a viewer. I just
What's
want to
the
live
key to a smooth integration
Shout
of your
out to
rookies
you,
and vets
dog.
during these weeks?
What's the? Did you get the middle
I don't know
part?
how to alert. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
What's the key at this stage of the offseason to integrating your rookies in with your vets smoothly?
Well, just really what I've already talked about. I mean, you have 8 installs to get in everything that they're going to need to know for training camp, and the rookies were exposed to installation 1 during their rookie orientation camp. So, and then they were able to get install 1 again in phase 2, and then install 5, and then really, a lot of review in between. So it's really, you like to get these installs to the players and get them, the application process started at least 2 times during the off season. So, and that'll be the goal with the rookies. So, I mean, we're able to meet with the guys in the afternoons, after the veterans are done. So we have the rookie meetings, and it's just really getting 2 laps through the installs. It will be the goal with the rookies.
At this stage of the summer, are you done looking for a backup quarterback, or are you gonna you got what you got?
Shout out
Well,
to the new
I think
follower.
just really in all positions too. I mean, Will is always looking at guys. I was in his office today, and we talked about a couple guys that are out there. So
we at
yeah, but right now I'm very comfortable with all 4 of our guys. That they've put a tremendous amount of work in this offseason. So those guys know the offense inside and out. So that's what you're looking for. So love the classroom work. It's good to get on the field. But Ben DiNucci's taking a big step. So this is exactly what he needs.
What do you like about what Garrett's been able to do from joining you 1 week and starting a game the next week to where he is now?
Yeah, Garrett's very comfortable now. I think like anything, when he did arrive, he wasn't really practicing much in Cleveland. So really his first time to get out there and throw was the week, his first week here, and then as you've already stated, a week later he's playing against Pittsburgh. So he's very comfortable, very, very bright, very intelligent. Football comes very easy to him. Him and Cooper Rush both are definitely very impressive. From the mental approach to it, their level of understanding. Yeah, I like the way that group works.
What are your impressions of Anthony Brown, and do you think that competition at that cornerback spot is something that we'll see play out over the entire spring and into the summer camp?
Definitely. I mean, AB looks great. I mean, he just had 2 unfortunate injuries. I mean, the same injury twice, but I think just he just being healthy. But yeah, he looks great out there. So like I said, we're just getting started. It's good just to have everybody there. Just the new concepts, new language, the details and the particularly adjustments of our new defense. So it's nice to see that start to come together.
Even though it is a new scheme, how far ahead of things is Diggs from where he was a year ago when everything was virtual?
How far is who?
Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon? Yeah, I mean, really today was the first chance to see him work live, but he looks good. And like I said, it's we're just getting started. We had our second practice today, so I think we're off to a really good start. I would say that offense is a little ahead of defense. I think, which is to be expected.
What everybody went through last year, how good was it to almost be kind of normal again with football?
I'm loving normal. There's no doubt about it. This is it's great to be on the field with your players. It's a lot of fun to see the coaches, because you know how much time these guys put into this, just in the planning of practices, their drill work. We started back with the rookies, a couple new ideas of different drills, and so now having a chance to work those and make sure they're ready for training camp. So no, it's been great. I mean, the energy in the building since Monday's kicked off, it's gone to a whole different level. So this is what we need. This is what I've always felt that you need, especially being a young team, especially being a team that's new in a lot of phases that we're still trying to integrate everybody to. So very thankful for what we got done so far, and looking forward to these next 6 practices.
With so many new faces on the defensive side of the ball and doing some different things systematically, what do you look for? I mean, do you believe it's going to take longer with your installs for everyone to get up to speed, or do the installs kind of tell you where guys are, and does that create some separation?
We're not there, and that's normal. I mean, this time of year is really about application of information, and particularly scheme, technique. We're trying to take a lap through our game management menu. So we're hitting that. We're hitting our team fundamentals, which you really can't really get going the way you want to get going until you get in pads and training camp. So we're making sure we're getting through all those curriculums just to make sure everybody has an understanding how we want it done here, and because everybody does it a little differently. So we just have a lot of work to do, and I think the fact that we get through these eight installs, that's the target I'm looking for, and then have the personal, the one-on-one time with the rookies there for that extra week. We'll be where we need to be. We'll be on target for training camp.
What were your impressions of Keanu Neal from afar? And obviously Dan was around him for in Atlanta, what have you been able to learn, and what traits does he have to make you say he can go from safety to linebacker?
Well, I mean,
Alright, this video
you know, the
making me
same
sleepy.
opinion I had from him
Pretty
from
much.
across the field I have as he's standing here on our side.
We ready for this season, man. Cowboys finna go up. We finna turn up in this hole. We finna win. We finna go to the Super Bowl. We finna win that. Yo, we in this hole, man. Let's see, what else can we check out real quick? Let's see. Let's see what this is.
Injury suffered last November, and Tua's first pass attempt was
out of an empty backfield. Wentz on the slant, dropped by Rager at the 2, and it brings up third. And Claypool to the end.
What happened? A great reaction from Bennett. And wow.
Herbert still has it. Herbert's going to take it in for the touchdown. Welcome to the NFL.
Snap it. First down and a lot more, and all the way to the end zone goes A.J. Dillon.
good protection. Vaughn incomplete. Big hit by Kyle Fuller, and now flag.
And that ball is intercepted at the 40-yard line. Going down to cradle it, A.J. Terrell. A slow transition for Jason as James Robinson is laying out dudes. Wow.
Corey Rippon's going to air it out downfield. One-on-one coverage, and this one is caught. And backing into the end zone is Jerry Jeudy. And the open man is Marvin Jones. And Jones still on his feet, getting inside the 30-yard line. Marvin Field.
There's a little short toss. Beautiful spin by Edwards-Helaire. And he loses his helmet in the process. Took up. Bridgewater stepping up. That ball's loose. Jason Pierre-Paul scooped it up.
This is Jeff Okudah.
Underneath throw. Robinson, the workhorse, leapfrogging the defense. Incredible play by Robinson. Jefferson's got separation, and he's got the catch inside the 40. Jefferson still going.
Ain't that a bitch?
Stafford downfield, and his pass is dropped by Swift. He was in the end zone. The rookie.
For him, with blocking ahead of him. Right here. Watch what he does to the left tackle. This guy's 365 pounds. Just watch. Got to slow it down right there. Bam! He's got a touch.
Crisis.
And a handoff. Ball is out, and Washington's on it. It's Deron Payne with the first takeaway.
Great start. Brady is taken down. Khalil Mack. 3rd down and 6, right up the gut. That is Gibson, and he is gone. 3rd of the ball game for the rookie.
Exciting 3rd-round rookie Ashton Davis. Open over. Dean Marlowe leveled him. Davis coughed it up.
He's under pressure. Now he throws, and it is picked off. You heard Jonathan Vobin's defensive side. It didn't show the first 2 games.
In there. Herbert out of the pocket. Herbert looks downfield. He's going to tuck and run. He's going to take a shot, and does, laying the lumber. And they're all potent. And the pass going to Hopkins. And Hopkins is tackled in the open field by Jeff Okudah. So Okudah making a big play.
And he's not. Gets it knocked out. Browns have it. And they take over basically where they...
Minshew over the middle. It is caught for a first down. Chenault at the 30. And Chenault still going. Throwing people down.
On the toss. Turning the corner is C.J. Ham, the fullback. And Ham
from
That
the
shit
25.
disrespectful.
Cousins to the air. Pressure coming. Picked off. And there goes Joseph. A pick six.
It's Wentz. Pump fakes and in trouble and fumble the football. It's loose. And Philadelphia was there to recover with
Goff in that tight pocket, throwing into a tight window, and it's picked off. Taken away by Tay Crowder, the rookie out of Georgia. Hinton knocked down, lobbed it up, picked off. C.J. Gardner-Johnson with it.
To Ayuk, the rookie from Arizona State, and he'll bust it inside the 20 and the 10, and look at that, he hurdles his way into the end zone.
action. Pocket collapses, rolls right. He's going to run for it. Flag, he's thrown it. Ball is caught. Football is loose. Washington had recovered. Church.
Stop. 2nd and 7, and Pittman gets hit, hangs on. Jayon Brown delivered the. Cam Akers breaking free. Cam Akers.
Look at that hustle by Montez.
Brady with all day throws and misses up for grabs as it bangs off the helmet, I believe. Off the hand and helmet of Vaughn.
Action with pressure. He is able to get it off to Justin Jefferson, but Jefferson is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by the rookie A.J. Terrell.
The end around pitch, and it comes to Hamler, the rookie, who looks for a block and hurdles, and then it's cracked. Really gay.
Allen was trying to throw it to Logan Thomas.
He's defending the screen.
Oh yeah, that's an easy call.
Right to the face.
That's an easy call.
Even back to Mahomes. Finds Edwards-Helaire. And the Chiefs are having themselves a...
And outside they go. Mooney looking for a block, and he gets one from his other receiver, Robinson, to the pylon. Touchdown! 4.
Oh, what a catch! And yes, they're going to tack on yardage half the distance.
First down, complete to DeAndre Hopkins. Stays on his feet. And Cousins throws over the middle. It's quick. He's hit. Lost the football. The question is, will it be?
Here is a toss over the left side as Dillon gets flipped. A flag is down.
Poster is going to take.
2nd down and 8. Here's Cook, cuts to the outside and has a first down. Lowers the shoulder, and Shannon talked about that.
The Chiefs. Peyton Barber hit hard at the 20-yard line. Excellent play by the rookie first-rounder, Javon Kinlaw.
3rd and goal from the 6. Pass incomplete. Looked like for a moment it might be there for Lamb.
Pass goes out here to Ruggs. And Ruggs will get body slammed. Stayed in bounds, clock will keep.
From the 6. Pass incomplete. Looked like for a moment it might be there for Lamb.
Flip it here to Hamler. Around the corner he goes. And then gets somersaulted with the ball coming out. But
that first couple of years. Here's a pass caught 2nd of the game for Johnson. Still going. Tyler Johnson showing his.
And he loops one complete to Logan Thomas, putting that big shoulder down across the 40-yard line to the 42.
Here, the protection pass underneath. That's Robinson. He shows his toughness. Wow. He got.
Pass caught. And that gives Tagovailoa 300. Newton to throw under pressure, and he is belted. Ashton Davis, the rookie from Cal, came screaming in. It looked like this.
Caught Jefferson. Nice move. Another missed tackle and a stiff arm at the end of it. And now a flag for the tackle.
Let's see. Just a reminder, if y'all ain't already following, go subscribe to KE Streams. Go follow King Emery 1230 Instagram. And if you're not on here from Twitch, go follow me on Twitch. Let's get it. Let's see. Shout out to the Cowboys, man. We're going to go ahead and play this.
Picks up a total of 9 more.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Why they keep showing that shit? Disgusting.
You almost got to hope it's a cramp, don't you, if you're a Cowboy fan right there? But, that does not look good, Jim. You hate for any team in the National Football League to lose their quarterback. And
Hell nah.
The Cowboys and their fans, everybody knows how important Dak, is to the success of this team. And we hope he's okay, and hopefully it's not something that's, you have no idea right here. You just feel for the individual and his teammates and everybody else. And we're gonna wish him well, Jim.
There are ambulances on
forward and write it.
Money. It's not my contract, but if
and his family, and I hope he's doing okay.
I raise up to take back the crown, yes.
That was a weak ass video, man. We gonna find something though. Let's watch this 42 Doug interview.
Either reach out to him or bring him out, whatever. And Doug was the name they told me. So when I brought him out on the show, I ain't even really know it was like that. He dropped this record. What was that joint? With you and Ray.
Street.
Yeah, a record called Streets. Win Arena though.
Mm-hmm.
Top to bottom, everybody singing like 18,000 people. It was like, obviously he already handling his business.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't be 15,000 people singing his shit, if you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some 42 Doug history, right? When's the first time you got a hell of a beat? Because I know in Detroit, once you get that hell of a co-stamp, he is like the Detroit producer.
I'd say probably like my third day out of jail. I had a song and shit I wrote about my mama. Called My Mom's Sorry and shit. So my homeboy took me to hell of and shit. I'm like, I need somebody to make me rapping. He took me to hell of and I was like showing him with my hands how I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And like he put the beat together. It was like some hard ass shit. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, let's watch this. The Boondocks warned us, pay attention. Let's see what this bullshit is.
I can't trust my bitch, I can't even trust my boys. See, nothing wrong.
Boys that moved with their grandfather. I don't know where they were staying at first, but they moved with.
And now I'm telling you, the clothing line's jumping off. This thing is what do you say, Gelman? Off the hook? Tell us about that.
Oh, let's watch this. Dark Side of Football. I'm sleepy as fuck.
You're out there by yourself, essentially.
It's an isolated position. You're always fighting yourself mentally.
In a sport that celebrates larger-than-life personalities.
When Tom Brady's over there kicking shit or arguing, it's passion.
Wide receivers often find themselves condemned.
But Odell, T.O., when they do it, get rid of them, they're bringing us down.
They're suddenly like, oh, they're too demanding, they're too emotional, they're too this, they're too that.
And no one has been too this or that more than number 85, Chad Johnson.
I was like, oh shit. Like he was like the best receiver I'd ever seen.
When Chad legally changed his name to Ocho Cinco, I think my first reaction, he did what?
People don't even realize how good this guy used to be because of how distasteful the ending was. It came out and pounced on him.
I can't tell you anybody who did anything like Chad Johnson.
I added another dynamic to it, the fun part. Humble. Humble don't get you nowhere. You have to have this tenacity about you to be great and devour whatever's in front of you. An opponent, whatever it may be.
If you're not confident as a wide receiver, then you can't play the position. Having the confidence of telling yourself, I'm the best player on the field.
Spotlight's always on wide receivers, whether they catch the ball, whether they're dropping passes, and most of all, when they're scoring touchdowns.
He's going to take it all the way for the touchdown.
Humble get your ass beat. Humble get your teeth knocked in. My name is Chad Johnson, and I was a okay NFL wide receiver.
In a league where playbooks are gospel and team cohesion the hymn everyone sings, wide receivers spend Sundays like kids acting up in church.
It takes a player with a certain amount of flair and intensity and creativity to play that position.
I'm in a league of my own. They ain't ready for me.
I know I'm good with the rock when it touch my hands. You better be able to tackle, you better be able to break down, because I'm gonna juke you.
Finds a lane, cuts it to the outside.
You know, I'm gonna leave you in your pants.
No, cut down the sideline.
Talk trash to you.
I know you can't cover. You too pretty. Right there, number 2, you too pretty.
You can't stop me. Try to guard me. I'm gonna catch this ball over your head. I'm gonna do this to you, and you're not gonna be able to stop me, because I'm better than you. I really got a kick out of playing wide receiver.
Personality-wise, wide receivers have to have a great self-confidence.
Who can make a play? I can.
A lot of times, kind of that loner, they've got to be competitive on every play.
To show you what a wide receiver is like, Steve Young told me back in the days of Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens, he would say every wide receiver would come back into the huddle after the last play and say, I was open, I was wide open, throw it to me. Because they have one characteristic in common. They want to catch the ball on every play.
Yeah, every single play the receiver wants the ball. I want it every play. Does it happen that way? No.
Can you tell somebody
to throw you the ball?
Throw me the ball.
I would love to.
Okay.
Wide receivers have their own special fraternity. It is kind of interesting and fascinating how they're all sort of got the same microchip. And, you know, it feels like each one of them is sort of laying down a new blueprint, leaving something new for the next one to do and pick up. Obviously, before Odell, you had T.O., and with T.O., you had Randy Moss, and you had Chris Carter. You had all these wide receivers that just had a way about how they approached the game, a style. And so I think for the younger players that were coming behind them, they knew if they played this position that they had to play with a level of authenticity, too.
With the advent of SportsCenter, that's going to get the wide receiver position as much pub as possible. If they're on a top 10 highlight film, just like Odell Beckham Jr.'s one-hander, that thing still gets played over and over. But not only did it get played over and over, how many people do we see now emulate it?
I remember actually the first time that I made ESPN Top 10, it was my sophomore year in Michigan. Like, that definitely can go to your head.
You just know if you have a good game, you're gonna be on SportsCenter. My name is TJ Hushmanzada, and I was an NFL wide receiver. When we were playing, it was NFL primetime with Boomer and TJ. And so you wanted to get on that.
Fans come to be entertained, and wide receivers have earned a reputation as the NFL's resident divas.
Hey, y'all get that mic out of here, man. We tired of y'all.
When I hear the term diva wide receiver, I cringe because, you know, I guess I'm not sure how people expect you know, people to act when you're great at something, but yeah, you gotta depend on somebody else in order for your greatness to be shown.
He's going to the star. He's going to the star.
That's part of the wide receiver role. They're known for being the divas. There's almost this expectation. It's in part a learned behavior. As you're growing up, as you're playing the sport, you're seeing that these wide receivers are celebrating. They created the touchdown celebration and then have tried to one-up one another over the years, from dances to doing flips to pulling cell phones out for selfies.
It is a bit of a drug. It is that adrenaline rush. And then the more you get it, the bigger the circus is gonna have to be. And if you're the ringleader of that circus, you get to dictate how much of that juice that you get on a daily basis. And sometimes you generate it for yourself.
I know you don't want me to shine, but I'm gonna shine anyway, because I love me on me.
The diva thing, nah, man, that makes no sense to me, man. That's just competitiveness and wanting to win.
I think it's kind of hard to find a wide receiver who's too humble, but they can be wearing both hats at the same time, where they might be a team player as well, but they like to broadcast and blare what they do.
Every time they make a highlight, you're gonna remind people every chance you get that you're one of the best players in the league. That is kind of the nature of your job.
It's a job that starts at the NFL Draft.
The 66th annual NFL Draft.
For many wide receivers, the transition from college to the pros can be a rude awakening.
Coming from college to the NFL, the biggest change in terms of the speed of the game, it's not necessarily that players are faster or players are bigger and stronger. The biggest difference is the educational side of things. Guys were veterans. They had studied a lot of film.
And that's the biggest thing that the jump from college to the NFL teaches you is it's a job. Your job is to come ready, prepared, in shape. And then you also have another job is to perform and produce.
Roommates and teammates at Oregon State. Chad Johnson and TJ Houshmandzadeh were drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in 2001.
I just wanted to play. I just wanted to get drafted. I didn't care what round I went. I didn't care about that.
The first 2 years, you know, Chad was kind of how he was in college. Just real chill.
Keep your head in the game, man. Don't let them throw you the ball. Don't worry about them not throwing you the ball. You gotta keep your head in the game now.
Chad really became Chad as everybody knows him when Marvin Lewis got there.
My name is Marvin Lewis, and I was the head coach in the NFL. My first meeting with Chad, I asked him to tell me his story. And after he got done telling me his story, I said, boy, you are lucky to be here. And it was just, he had to overcome a lot to become an NFL player.
If you look at his story and how he wasn't supposed to make it to the NFL. So he probably looked at it from that perspective as well, like, man, I'm about to enjoy this till the wheels fall off because I'm not supposed to be here.
And when he really did make it, then he just pushed harder and harder and harder. And that was the best part of Chad Johnson, is how hard he worked day in and day out. That's all he had, was football. I would be in my office working at 9 o'clock, 9:30, I could feel somebody in the doorway, and I'd look up and it would be Chad. That was all he had, was that football facility.
Let's go now. We got to go, baby. Let's go. Huh? Come on. Let's go.
Hands down, no question, anybody who'd ever met Chad, talked to Chad, they'll tell you he ain't playing for the money. He's playing because he loves the game.
The thing about Chad is that he took it to another level. It really is kind of impressive just how much of a household name he became. I mean, he's a wide receiver for the Bengals, who have not had some history of being great, okay? In the Midwest, Cincinnati, small market.
What everybody vilified, media-wise, as showboating, as divish, as trash talk.
Come on. I want you right there.
As not very professional, was the same way I played the game in high school.
For the league's best wide receivers, stardom seems preordained. Not so for Chad Johnson, whose career almost never happened.
You're in the pros now, son.
If you could bottle that up, that feeling of walking out, getting ready to play a football game, it's like nothing else.
From the network that brought you Dark Side of the Ring, it's football's turn.
Oh, it's the NFL.
The unseen chaos.
Stabbings, fightings, beatings.
The untold controversies.
Bam, right cross, knocked him out.
The unbelievable truth.
I would do whatever I had to do to get out on the field.
Dark Side of Football. New series kicks off Thursday, May 13th at 10 on Vice.
If I get in the end zone, make sure you keep the camera on me.
Great body control by Johnson.
I think my greatest accomplishment wasn't actually in the NFL. It was overcoming the hurdles and the obstacles just to get there. Growing up in the Liberty City area, for me as a kid, you're not understanding the war zone that you were living in.
And that neighborhood is rough. You didn't really see people making it to the pros.
Complicating matters was the fact that Chad's mother left him when he was young. He would go on to be raised by his grandparents. Samari Roll, Chad's older cousin, who would also go on to shine in the NFL, worked to keep Chad on track.
My name is Samari Roll. I played 12 years in the NFL. People that see something in you, they figure this guy can be something. You know, we gotta look out for him, make sure he stays on the right path.
Individuals that were doing their thing wouldn't allow me to hang around, to even think about going that route based on what they knew when it came to me playing the game of football. If I didn't make it the sports route, there was only one other avenue for me to be able to achieve and attain some of the things that I'd like and dreamed of. And it would have been, obviously, the street route.
First time I saw
actually
Chad
good
Johnson,
at
he
that.
was a freshman at Miami Beach. He was starting a game. He is just unstoppable, scrambling everywhere, can't be stopped. And we're like, who the hell is this guy? I always remembered that name. I was like, Miami Beach, Chad Johnson. Like, this kid's gonna be somebody.
They saw something bigger than this little kid that's good at football. They saw the future. And you know what? You could be one of the few who makes it out that we can look up to and say, you know what? Yeah, I knew you would make it. My way out
I'll be right
in
back.
trying to reach success, or the pinnacle of what I consider success, which was the NFL for me, I needed my grandma. Having my grandparents at the games was dope. It was dope. My grandma at being very reluctant to come to the game because she didn't like the contact. She didn't like anyone hitting me. Grandma and my grandfather were extremely important. That figure in their home, but that individual that cares that much.
By high school, Johnson had become an elite player, showcasing at quarterback, safety, and wide receiver. But during his sophomore season, tragedy struck.
I'll never forget, 1994. We had played first round of the playoffs. We were playing Hialeah, Miami Lakes. We're playing, and I'm looking for Pops. Having my grandfather there was awesome, and he's not at the game. We all went to my auntie's house, and everybody was there. My grandma was there, and that's when, I think she was the first to tell me the news that he had passed away. It was hard, man. It was hard.
As a kid, as a person coming up in high school, you don't know if he's bullshitting, you don't know if he's serious. He doesn't give you any emotion. It's always a smile on his face. And like I noticed even to this day, you don't really get any emotion out of him. You just get the smile.
Obviously, Grandma's still there. Solid foundation. And that was one of the reasons I was able to get through that time.
Chad's now widowed grandmother gave him a mission to work even harder to make it to the NFL.
Chad is so focused and determined to be something. You know, the success I had, I remember in high school, he wore his jersey like me, picked the number like me, had the cowboy collar. So I would like to think that that let him know if he can do it, I know I can damn well do it.
While Roll was recruited to play Division I football at nearby Florida State, Chad's route to the NFL started 3,000 miles away at Santa Monica Community College. Not exactly a football powerhouse.
First time I met Chad Johnson, I remember it like it was yesterday. He was vulnerable, but he was hungry. He wasn't your average civilian. His first year, he was rough around the edges. I mean, he was raw. He didn't understand the fine nuances of playing wide receiver. I remember one time he was down because he wasn't getting enough balls. And he was saying that, you know what, I'm just tired of this stuff. You know, I want to quit. No one understands what junior college football players go through. I've seen guys eating out of trash cans. I've seen guys living in their car. I've seen guys living in sheds, just trying to make it.
Chad had traveled across the country to play football, but in some ways, his life in California mirrored his childhood in Liberty City, Florida.
He would have to catch the rapid transit district back in the day. He didn't have a car. He would have to go through 5 gang sets just to get to his house, and he was getting harassed. Not to mention, he didn't have the support system and the guidance that he needed. That's when Coach Collins came into his life.
My name is Charles Collins. Yeah, I was actually the head coach at Maynard High School and also the offensive coordinator at Santa Monica College. Chad Johnson I thought he was a goof. You would have thought he was probably going to be more of a comedian than a football player because he always had jokes every day at practice.
Obviously, I was confident. I was raw, and he took me and sharpened me like a number 2 pencil before a test.
You got to remember, he was in junior college with me for 3 years. So part of it was trying to keep him eligible, part of it was trying to mentor him, raise him, show him how to do things the right way.
Once he came into the picture from a football standpoint and helping me understand, this is your last chance. And that's when the light bulb clicked. It clicked.
By almost divine intervention, Chad was recruited to play at Oregon State.
How he got to Oregon State, I don't even know a lot of people know. It was a receiver up there, I'm not even gonna say his name. He stole a teammate's DJ equipment. They kick him off the team. A scholarship comes open, it goes to Chad. So if that guy doesn't get caught or he never steals his stuff, Chad's not there.
With only 1 year of college eligibility left, Chad couldn't afford to wait on grabbing the attention of NFL scouts.
For me, it was the first day I saw him on the practice field. I think he was like the best receiver I had ever seen.
Chad's got the quickest feet. Any wide receiver I've played against my 12 years, he had the quickest feet coming in and out of his break.
His size, like he's not heavy, but he's tall. And he has the quickness of a guy that's 5'5". You just don't see that.
His feet are so good, he can get to where he needs to go in time and get it done. It's beautiful seeing it.
Coming in for Chad, I knew he could help us. And me and Coach Sharps talked about it. You're gonna have to help him, I got you. Like if I was on the opposite side of the field and I would line up and I would look over there and he would just look at me. And I'm like, he doesn't know what the play is. And so we just started to develop hand signals.
The catch is made by Chad Johnson.
I think TJ was good for Chad because TJ is a serious guy. You know, he jokes around, but on the field, TJ is a very serious guy. So Chad probably having him at Oregon State probably helped him out a lot.
Going deep, Chad Johnson.
That's why I had so much more appreciation just for how Chad did it. Deep down, he had the grind. And just to be mentally strong enough to know this is what I gotta do to get what I want.
The Atlanta Falcons have the first pick in this 2001 NFL draft, and the Falcons are now on the clock.
I mean, once I got drafted to the NFL, all the old memories and what it took to get to that point just started flooding in.
Cincinnati has selected wide receiver from Oregon State University, Chad Johnson.
That moment I found it when that name goes across that ticker and that sigh of relief and tears. And then me and Grandma, we held each other for a long time. And I remember telling her all the sacrifices you made, it's finally paid off. It's finally paid off.
The Cincinnati Bengals landed themselves lightning in a bottle, soon to be a lightning rod of controversy.
Dark Side of the Ring is back with all new tales of soaring triumphs,
The bigger he got, the more paranoid he got about losing his spot.
harrowing tragedies,
If you want to feel pain, then you have to go from the top and get knocked to the bottom.
and unbelievable mayhem.
I was in over my head.
Dark Side of the Ring. New episode Thursday at 9 on Vice.
Drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals, Chad Johnson found another coach to advocate on his behalf.
I coached in Cincinnati for a long time, 16 seasons as the head coach. Chad was an excellent football player. His best attribute was his ability to track the football when the football was in the air. He literally had another gear.
Oh, Chad's and Marvin's relationship was great. Marvin is a tough coach to play for, meaning he's gonna push you. One big thing he used to always say is, no means no and nothing good happens past midnight. He would always end the meeting. And sometimes he would always try to single out me and Chad because we were the most outspoken guys on the team. Hey, Chad and TJ, no means no and nothing good happens after midnight. You always talking to us for?
I think Chad realized how lucky he was to get to the NFL. And he had a chip on his shoulder, and he tried to prove that he belonged.
You slightly disrespecting me right now, too.
I'm gonna knock your goals out your mouth.
For me, what's important to learn from someone is how they've achieved certain things that I haven't. I remember going to play Jerry Rice one year when he was with the Oakland Raiders, and I had a list of questions in my glove. And I talked to Jerry after the game on what made you great, what did you have to do? And obviously, you know, work is always the first answer. And that's so cliche, because everybody said, I work hard. Oh, it's the NFL. You're supposed to work hard. How do you think you got here? So I added another dynamic to it, the fun part.
Let's go.
And a little dance from Chad Johnson, a little jig in New Orleans.
Chad and TJ come, Carson Palmer, and Cincinnati was a team that was on Monday Night Football. You know, people tune in and see, man, what is Chad gonna do when he scores this week? Like, Cincinnati didn't have the best reputation, and they changed that.
His personality just came out, and it was probably the personality that he always wanted to show, but he was finally playing very well.
Part showman, part highlight reel. Johnson evolved into a superstar, gaining at least 1,100 yards for 6 straight seasons, twice being named the first team All-Pro.
I know for myself, and I'm sure for Chad, we weren't supposed to be in the league, and so it was always fun.
Ooh, I know I'm good now.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You know, he had some brilliant things that he did to market himself, and I thought that he was brilliant when it comes to branding himself before branding was popular.
What Chad created week in and week out was literally before the explosion of social media. He would have been nightmare right now. And because now he'd have the whole world as his audience every single day.
I'm about to go on here and get up out of here. I'll probably get on a little later. I'm gonna just go on here and jam out to some music real quick. Then we're gonna slide the fuck up out of here. Hopefully this bitch will play this time. This bitch was not played last stream. Don't look like it's gonna play this stream. This the one video that do not want to play. What the fuck? Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, King Emery MMA. Make sure y'all show a nigga some love. Shit, I guess we gonna end with that pressure. Turn this off for y'all niggas, man.
Ain't no half step, applying pressure, don't even. Ain't no half step in applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team. No half step in applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team. Ain't no playing modest when paying homage, ain't nothing promised. I'ma make it mama. Fuck a hater, run up them dollars. They was hating on me, so I went harder. This for my daughter. I made decisions that made me different. I changed the order. I can't take no shit when I'm on my shit, so I paid the lawyer. It's be yourself and you free yourself. Go get that water. I'm moved up, I'm screwed up and chewed up. Now I'm too much for who's up. Ain't no one next to me. I'm in a different league. Yeah. Applying pressure. I'm in a different league. Yeah. Ain't no half half-stepping, applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team. No half-stepping, applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team.
Applying pressure, now I see me getting better. Used to be too subjected to seeing lesser, now I'm a flexer. Gave the game my heart, but I found out it's a depressor. Now the closest thing underneath my seat, that shit a blessing. Father forgive a nigga, we generals under pressure. Free my niggas all up out of themselves, that time attention. Niggas told on a nigga and they ain't even get wetter. How a nigga supposed to trust another nigga, pick my head up. Leave a nigga alone, flipped an arrow from the ghetto. I was blessed to see the world hold me tight and never let go. These are rolling up in fours with Lawrence, my nigga Deuce. Niggas talking how they struggle, bitch, that never was the truth.
Ain't no half-stepping, applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team. No half-stepping, applying pressure, don't even step to me. My bag bubbling, these hoes bugging, I got the recipe. The trap jumping, my racks doubled, I'm in a different league. Yeah, I'm on the winning team.
Go fuck with that, go stream all my music on all platforms, man. Other than that, man, we out this hole. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I might be back later on tonight.